This is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I'm so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we are going to talk about wasting time. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay. So earlier today, I was listening to sermons, reading the Bible, all the things, and I was reading from Matthew 19, and it started talking about this guy who was asking Jesus what he can do to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And Jesus had told him that he needed to just follow his commands. And then he said, okay, I'm already doing that. What else can I do? And he said, well, I need you to give up all your possessions. And he was like, I don't know if I want to do that, right? And so Jesus was like, oh, it would be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And so it had me thinking about how we be wasting time. And I came up with this acronym today, by the grace of God, that spells out the word stop. Because this is the day that we're going to stop wasting time. From this moment forward, we are no longer going to allow things to interrupt our life from moving forward, from doing the things that it is that we need to do. Sorry, piece of lint on my lip. But anyways, we're no longer going to allow the things in life to stop us from our purpose, to stop us from living our best lives. And in order for us to do that, the first thing, which lines up with the scripture, is sacrifice. Are we willing to help anyone and to heal in the way that we need? Are we willing to be selfless in some areas of our lives so that we can help the people that's necessary to help? When you're thinking about wasting time, sometimes we waste time because we're doing the things that really have no value. We're not sacrificing anything. We're not willing to give up anything to have the things that we want. We say we want a banging body or something, right? But we refuse to eat healthy. We say that we want to make more money, but we refuse to budget the correct way. We say that we want all of these things that all take time and effort, but we're not willing to give time or sacrifice the things that we want to really receive those things in life. So before you think about wasting your time, stop and take a moment and really think, do I really want this thing? Do I really want to be in a healthy relationship? Because you can't be in a healthy relationship if you're not willing to learn to be more emotionally intelligent. If you want to think that you're right all the time, if you don't want to work on yourself, you can't be more emotionally intelligent. You're not going to be emotionally intelligent if you're only thinking about the benefits of yourself. You become emotionally intelligent when you really start to put yourself aside, not in a you neglect your own values or you neglect who you are, but in a way where you consider someone else's feelings. You consider how someone else might feel in this circumstance, in this situation. When you really take a moment and say, okay, it's not just about me, it's about other people as well. That's when you truly can sacrifice. That's when you truly can be selfless. The next thing is the T, turbo. I know you're probably thinking about cars or something else or some kind of vehicle, but I'm talking about time. Sometimes in life we are going so fast we refuse to slow down and take a moment and just let life be what it is. Let the season be what it is where you are in that season. Really appreciate where you are in your life, knowing that it's preparing you for the next level. Every time that you take a moment and you try to rush God, you try to rush God's time and rush through your life, you end up in the same spot anyways. So do you want to be in a difficult situation going through things you had God never prepared you or had you want to go through in the first place? He never wanted you to have to deal with all this heartbreak. He never wanted you to have to deal with being broke all this season. He wanted you to be wealthy. He wanted you to have a healthy relationship. But because you rushed, you got into a relationship with the distraction instead of destiny. It is really time for us to start considering that some things take time, and I would rather wait and be patient for something that is really really amazing than to try to rush into something that's not necessary, something that is going to be lackful, something that's going to hold me back, something that is going to be a burden on my life instead of a blessing. The best way to receive a blessing in your life is to rush through it, to rush to get the money, to rush to get into a relationship, to rush for the things in life that God is already preparing you for. God, everything happens in God's perfect timing. But sometimes we get so beside ourselves thinking that we know everything, that we really try to move God out of the equation, move God out of the way so we can get to the person that we want, so we can get to the job that we want because it's got so many zeros behind it. The job title, because we feel like the job title makes us more important than being in a position where we are actually in purpose. It's time for us to really take a moment, take a beat, really think about the actions that you're making in your life. Is this really helping you or is it hurting you? Is this really what I want in my life or not? Or not? And so as you do that, really just take your time. The next thing is the O, opinion. Sometimes we seek counsel from people, but it's not wise. So instead of us worrying about pleasing other people and how everybody else feels about something, how do you really feel about it? Do you even like this person? Do you even like this car? Do you even like these shoes? Do you even like the house that you're in? Whatever the thing is in your life, like, sometimes we put so much value on what someone else thinks instead of what we think for ourselves that we lose out on so many blessings in life when God is already trying to give us something. He's trying to give you that job, but because it was a janitorial position, you didn't want to take it because you didn't know that the janitor position was going to open doors for a CEO position a year later. You didn't want to take that relationship because it didn't look the way that you wanted it to look the whole time it had blessings all over it. God was all up and through that thing. We really have in our mind what we want things to look like. And sometimes when we look to the world, when we look to other people's opinion, that forms what we think we want in life. When really, when we take a moment by ourselves, we really consider, okay, that's not really what I want. I don't really want to be the boss and be a manager of 20 people. I just want to make money and I could be in the background somewhere. Nobody has to know my name and I could be a billionaire like that one billionaire that I found out about. Nobody knows us a billionaire, but they a billionaire. They got racks on stacks on packs of money, but they don't have to worry about the headache of everybody else trying to ask them for something. They probably have family members doing it, but still, they don't have the whole world like, oh, that's a billionaire. Let me try to get something from them. That's how I want to be in life. I want to be the type of person that's doing all these amazing things in the background. I want people to know that God is blessing me, but I don't want to be flashy and the whole world knows who or what I got and everything else. Like, whatever it is that you want for your life, you have to consider what you want for your life. If you want an amazing job, go for the amazing job, not the amazing title. And it's nothing wrong with a great title, but don't go for the job just for the title. If you want an amazing relationship, know that it's not going to be perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. But be willing to put forth an effort and do the things that you have to do, the things that are necessary to grow yourself to get the things that you want in life. The last thing is the P. Is what you are doing and who you are around drawing you closer to your purpose. Sometimes we start doing things because we just want to fill time. We don't like waiting around. We don't like the idea of somebody else having something and you pray for it and you got to wait around for it. We don't like the idea that it just seems like it's impossible or it's never happening. And it's just, you've been praying so long, God, I just want this job. God, I just want this relationship. Whatever it is that you're praying to God for. And we forget that it's drawing us away from our purpose. The relationship isn't drawing us closer to God, it's drawing us further away from God. The job is not drawing us closer to God, it's drawing us away from God. We got to work every single Sunday and we miss church every Sunday. We got to work every Wednesday night or do something late every Wednesday night so we miss Bible study. It's those things that are drawing you further away from your faith, further away from the things that are really important to you, the things that are pulling you or that should be part of your purpose are not supposed to be a part of your life. It's important for us to know what is our purpose, what really matters to us. We have to know, even if no one else knows, which leads me, and I know this video went super quick, and I'm sorry for making it fast, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. I know we got things to do. So that spells stop, but the bonus letter is K, like stop, okay? And the K is for knowing. When you know who you are, it helps you stay on track and stand on business. Sometimes we really be feeling like I'm just going to do all of these things that someone else wants me to do because we don't know our own value, we don't know our own worth, we don't know what it is that we want in life. But a pastor was saying in a sermon earlier today that I was listening to that that's what the enemy likes to do. He wants to try to make you forget who you are and knowing your value, your worth, and who your father is. When you don't have a good faith, a good foundation, a good background, you can do anything in life. You don't have any and moral compass. You don't have anything keeping you on track. You don't have anything that's going to stop you from making a bad decision, because you're going to feel like you're doing all the things you want to do. You're going to feel like, well, I don't know who I am. Maybe the world can tell me who I am. You'll start being like the people around you instead of being more Christ like. You'll start trying to do things to fit in because you feel like your value comes in the amount of people that are in your circle than having a few close people who really got your back like that. you know, you really start feeling like when someone is trying to convince you to do the wrong thing, that's better than actually walking in purpose and doing the right things. In the Bible, in Matthew 19, it said to keep his commandments, and it listed out all these things: no adultery, murder, the false testimony, honor your mother and father, love your neighbor as yourself, and love God, things like that. And when you're doing anything in life and you don't know who you are, you don't know what your values are, other people will tell you it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, it's okay if you just do this one thing. Ain't nothing wrong with just one. And the whole time you're getting further and further from where you started, the person that God always created you to be. You're getting further and further away from your purpose because you're feeling like this seems better because it's temporary satisfaction, because it's something that is quick. It's something that's microwavable. It's something that you don't have to wait for, because you're in such a rush to get through life. You want to run to the first thing that's available instead of waiting for the thing that's actually worth it. When you actually are willing to be in purpose, to really know who you are, other people won't be able to convince you that their ways are better than God's ways. Other people won't be able to convince you that their thoughts are better than God's thoughts. Other people won't be able to tell you who you should be. Telling you, like, for example, somebody could say, you are the most unattractive person ever. There was this girl, she is so pretty. Oh my gosh, right? She was on this video and I was listening to it the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I used to think I was so ugly and I used to get bullied in school and all of these other things." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl is so pretty." Like, whoever that was obviously hating on her, because like when people see something in you, sometimes they want to break you down enough so that you don't believe in yourself. Sometimes people are so insecure that they feel like they have to stop what it is inside of you because you make them feel invalid because they're not in their purpose. Sometimes when people see you and they see that glow in you, they feel like they have to destroy it because they don't have a glow in themselves. But when you know who you are, no matter what anyone says, they can't stop you from being who you truly are. No matter what anyone says, their opinion is just an opinion. Like, everybody has one. But that does not make it a fact. That just makes it an opinion. When you remember that their opinion is just that, it makes it easier to do the things that you have to do in life. It makes it easier to remember, oh no, I'm not ugly, I am beautiful. It makes it easier to know that I can be in purpose. Like, just because they're saying society, culture, the world is saying that you have to live this type of way, doesn't mean I have to live this type of way, because that's not what God intended for me. Just because people say you're supposed to do this at this time and you're not supposed to wait 6 months before you go to a new position in life or whatever else, doesn't mean you need to hurry up and take the first available position at work when there is opportunity for growth in the 6 month job. It's really important for us to really stop and take a moment and think about the type of life we want to live. So I hope that you have been doing, since I started this discipline series, taking 5 minutes a day, however long you need, to really envision the type of life that you want to live. When you're going through life, really think, do I want to live in this house forever? Or do I want to live in a mansion? Do I want to live in a 2 bedroom? I don't know what your thing is, but whatever it is that you envision for your life, really start to think every day. Take 5 minutes to think about the type of life you want to live. Anything. It doesn't matter if it seems like it's impossible, because with God, all things are possible. It doesn't matter what you did in the past, that's the past. The past is not your present and it won't determine your future. It may have shaped you into the person that you are, but you are no longer that person. In the Bible, it says old things are passed away and you are a new creation. People who aren't religious will not get that. People who don't have a relationship with God will not get that. Sorry, I didn't mean to say religious, because that's a whole nother story. But when you really know that you are new, you understand that your past happened, but that's not who you are in your future. You could choose the type of future you want to live. You can choose if you want to be a better person today than you were yesterday. It doesn't matter if you messed up 1 minute ago. When you watch this video and you say, oh, dang, I just messed up. Like 5 minutes ago, I just reached out to that person that I know I had no business talking to. I just ended up doing something that I know I had no business doing. Whatever it is. I don't know what your thing is, right? But I do know that your past doesn't determine your future. It's a part of your story, but it's not your entire story. If I was my past, I look a whole hot mess right now. Like, and it's all by the grace of God that I'm sitting here like this. Because if it wasn't for Jesus, I would have been, I don't know what I would have been doing. I don't know where I would have been. I don't know how my life would have been, but I know this is not what it would have looked like. I wouldn't have known the strength that I can get from God. I wouldn't have known that I could accomplish the things that God allowed me to accomplish in life. I wouldn't have changed my mindset. I wouldn't have tried to educate myself more. I wouldn't have went on this journey of becoming a better person and trying to be more emotionally intelligent if God wasn't in my life. He really showed me that everything that I did in the past doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I made a lot of missteps, mistakes, did a lot of wrong things in life, but I'm no longer that person anymore. I don't want to live like that. I had no peace. I was literally feeling miserable every single day and sad because it felt like I couldn't find peace in my life. And then I turned to God and I have contentment in every situation. I might not always understand things. Things don't always go my way, but I do have contentment and I do feel peace in my life because he's a part of it. If you are trying to live a life of peace, I'm telling you, God is where it's at. I know people are probably like, oh, there she go with the God stuff. Yeah, because, I mean, let me tell you, if you were down and out like I was down and out, if you was really in some of the situations that I had myself in, then you'd be like, oh, yeah, Jesus is real. Because ain't no way I'm the same teenager, the same person from 5, 10 years ago, 15 years ago that I am sitting here today. It's only because of God. It's only because of the grace of God. Because God had mercy on my soul. Because He allowed everything that happened in the past to no longer matter. His forgiveness is as far as the east is to the west, as far as the depths of the sea. We are the only ones holding on to the things that we used to do. Like God really care about that now. Like He only cares if you know better and still choose to do the wrong thing. And like I said, if you chose to do the wrong thing 1 minute ago and right now you like I'm about to live better, just choose to do better. Some people be beating up on people for making the same mistakes that they made in the past, like they never made a mistake in their life. I will never be that type of person in Jesus' name to ever judge somebody for their past, knowing that I have one too. I don't believe in that. I believe that everybody has an opportunity to be better, and everybody has a choice to live a better life. It's your life. You have to live it. Don't worry about other people around you. They're going to always have an opinion and it might not always be right. But when you seek wisdom from people who are really truly wise, it can really help you stay on a good path and live the life that God always intended you to. So remember to stop, to take a moment to really just think of the life that you want to live, knowing that you have to make sacrifice, knowing that you have to slow down, knowing that not everybody's opinion matters, and that as long as you're on purpose, that it's going to push you to where you're supposed to be and live your best life. And that is why you should always remember to first love yourself.